Alright, today's review is going to be on Captain America: The Winter Soldier. I'm sure a lot of people, are looking forward to this review, if anyone is. Um, but yeah, anyway, let's go ahead and get into it. I've got other MCU reviews before and after this video if you want to watch them. But yeah, let's get into Captain America: The Winter Soldier. Alright, so plot 8-3. I think the plot here is a pretty good plot. Just the basic idea of Hydra coming back, I think dulls it down a little bit. I would have liked to have seen another villain and then Hydra coming back, but I think they kind of think they did that with the Avengers movie for Captain America. But Hydra, it being like pretty much every Captain America movie is like Hydra, Bucky, and it's whatever. But I feel like the plot of this movie is essentially a spy thriller type movie. It's a rogue agent type of movie, and it really works because this movie takes itself seriously. That is the main thing. I gave it an 8-3 because this movie is serious in tone and serious in plot. I mean, but at the end of the day, again, spoiler, but this is like a 10-year-old movie at this point. If you're watching a review, I don't think you're really worried about spoilers. But yeah, at the end of the day, I mean, the plot of this movie is essentially Hydra's trying to take out, like, not like half the population, but like all the meaningful like people in the world. So I mean, it's a pretty big plot at the end of the day. Honestly, it's close to an Avengers level like threat more than it is an individual like solo movie. But yeah, again, plot very respectable, 8-3. I didn't put it up there. Shit. All right, dialogue 7-7. There are some good lines in this movie. Obviously, anyone want to get out before we get started or whatever he says in the elevator scene. I think that's really good. I think there's a couple of lines where they try a little bit too hard. Bucky at the end of the whole Captain America says, "You're my friend, and I'm with you to the end of the line." I think he ends whatever the sentence is with "You're my friend," and Bucky says, "You're my mission," and then he like starts beating on him. Like, I see what you're trying to do there. I could see how it could have been good, but I just think the execution wasn't great on it. It seemed a little forced. But yeah, and there's also another line from Zola in the bunker where he's like, "Me and you, Captain, we are both out of time," and it just feels a little corny at times. So I think that drags down the dialogue, but most of the dialogue is very serious in this movie. Again, serious, another key word that I've said earlier, but it's what makes this movie good. I think that's what MCU fans are looking for. It's just I get it's a superhero movie, and I get people think, oh, it's a grown man walking around in tights or whatever. But at the end of the day, if you take these movies seriously, people will like them. Like Winter Soldier, taken seriously, people liked it. Logan, taken seriously, people liked it. Infinity War and Endgame, not totally taken serious, but for the most part, they were taken serious. People liked them. That's all you got to do is just take the movie serious. But yeah, 7-7 on the dialogue. I think there the serious tone and the semi-realistic dialogue in this movie is good, but again, I think it was held back by the fact that they tried too many big moments. All right, let's go ahead and get to the acting here. The acting, you get good performances out of Chris Evans, Sebastian Stan, Scarlett Johansson, Samuel Jackson, Robert Redford, pretty much all of them. Anthony Mackie as well. Good cast, good acting. It's almost like acting's important for these movies or something. But yeah, anyway, I feel like there's not much more I can say about that. I kind of looped it into the dialogue. I feel like they did the best they could to pull off some corny lines, and they pulled off most of the believable, like everyday average dialogue type lines. All right, cinematography 8-4. This movie looks really good. Again, it's not over the top with the way it makes the action look at times. I will say there is some showboatiness, like with how Captain America and the Winter Soldier like interact and stuff like that. Like they're like badasses and they'll do kind of like crazy stuff. Like there's one time Bucky, I forgot he grounds a grenade like a ground ball, and he like chunks it to the side like he's Derek Jeter into a helicopter or helijet or whatever, and it blows a guy up. But yeah. Anyway, 8-4. I included that just because sometimes that stuff looks a little goofy, but I feel like a lot of the visuals in this movie slash cinematography, they don't really try and do anything too creative with it. But for the scenes that are meaningful, like the was it the triskeleton is what they called it, like the shield helicarriers that came down Project Insight. When all of that starts coming down, it looks good. It looks believable. There's no problems with that. I wish they would have done a little bit more with the creativity behind this movie, but again, I understand it's not really the mindset that these people are in. I think it was the Russo brothers too. I don't really think they try and do a lot of like creative shots outside of like Infinity War and Endgame. All right, so soundtrack. All right, so the soundtrack. This movie has one really good soundtrack, which is the Winter Soldier soundtrack. Really like that. The Winter Soldier like theme is really good. But outside of that, it was mostly forgettable. So it's kind of the same thing I said for Thor: The Dark World, which is it's got one good soundtrack, but if that one good soundtrack or theme is really memorable, I will weight that up a little bit. So the average soundtrack of the movie is not like it's not an 8 in average, but if they have one theme, kind of like I mean, this is a bad example, but Into the Spider-Verse with the Prowler theme, that soundtrack's already really good, but then they also have an iconic soundtrack added on to that, so they get like almost bonus points out of it. But yeah, this movie really like the Winter Soldier soundtrack, and I thought the overall soundtrack of the movie was just kind of generic. So yeah, I gave it a 8 in total. All right, let's go ahead and get into bonus ratings. 7.6. This movie did attempt comedy. It's barely better than average. At least it's not bad, I guess is what I can say. World building 8.5. This movie did do a lot for world building as far as introducing the Winter Soldier, introducing Falcon, progressing Captain America's storyline along. Storyline along? What the fuck did I just say? Storyline along? Did I say that? I don't know. Anyway, I'm leaving it in. Yeah, it did a lot as far as progressing Captain America's story. Yeah. So characters, 8.8. This movie has got a great cast for MCU characters, and just I feel like they did a good job of making each one of them have a meaningful role. Hell, they even made, I think his name is Crossbones. They even made him semi like valuable in this movie. So yeah, they did a good job of introducing the characters of the Winter Soldier. Who we've seen Bucky before, but I think there's kind of a split a little bit briefly with the Winter Soldier. But yeah, so I feel like they did a really good job with Captain America, with Bucky, with Sam, obviously, with Natasha Romanoff or Black Widow, Nick Fury. I mean, countless characters that you can name, and they're all meaningful to the plot, which is a big deal. All right, I'm not sure if this is the highest. No, it's not the highest for the MCU, but it is pretty high. I gave the action for this movie a 9.1. This movie is really good at the hand-to-hand combat. It's really good at utilizing the character of Captain America and the Shield specifically. And again, I think they're also really good at utilizing Bucky and Falcon. I think they do a good job of showing those characters' powers or abilities very well. That's going to be the end of the bonus categories here, but yeah, overall this movie gets a what I don't know why I paused there. I'm sorry. Yeah, it gets an 8.5. Sorry for the weird pause. I was for some reason I was looking for it on the spreadsheet, and that's not relevant. But yeah, 8.5. This movie is one of the higher rated MCU movies for me. It's definitely in the top 10 of MCU movies for me. I'll probably put out a list at some point, somewhere. I don't know where I'd release that, but I might make like a separate video or something like that of like a ranking of MCU movies. But yeah, anyway, 8.5 for Captain America: The Winter Soldier. I think a lot of people might have it higher than me because a lot of people adore. I think when Marvel specifically does a superhero movie right, it's like when they do their normal mid slop, it's at like a 7.5 for most people. When they make a bad movie, it's like a 5 for most people. And then if they make a good movie, I think, again, like I said with Logan, I think it shoots up the list way up because it's like, oh yeah, I'm into superhero movies and they made a good one. And it feels so rare that I think sometimes people rank it really high. But yeah, let me know what you guys think of my review of Captain America: The Winter Soldier, and let me know just in general what you think of the movie. Yeah. So thank you guys for watching, and peace.